popular shows, oh, indeed, on the Strip, and it features the music of one of the greatest rock bands of all times. And now you can take a look behind the curtain of the magnificent Beatles Love.
Oh, it's such a cool show, and there's a lot of curtains to look behind, too. They're at all different angles.
Yeah.
This is your chance to observe the cast members as they rehearse. And here to show us how, the dance master of the Beatles Love, Katie Tate. Katie, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Doing so well. The Beatles Love is so, if you're a Beatles fan, even slightly, oh, my heart, it's fantastic. Describe the Beatles Love for those who haven't seen it and how it might differ from other circus shows that you see on the Strip.
Well, Love is really a celebration of the Beatles and their music and peace and love in general. It takes you on a journey from the formation of this band to the breakup and all the events that happen in the world throughout that period of time.
Yeah.
So it shows you how those events shaped the music and then ultimately how the music really shaped the world at that time. So it's such a show of joy and spirit and heart, and our audience members are just jumping out of their seats, dancing throughout the show because the way the theater's constructed, it's so intimate and immersive. And
it's all in the round. And there's blocking for that. Blocking, like trying to set, like a lot of your shows are, you know, one direction.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking directly at one, but there's no hiding.
It's quite a challenge, but it's a beautiful thing for the audience because you can watch it from so many different perspectives and get a whole new show every time.
It's awesome.
And people do. I just had my very good friends in town from my hometown, and they, I think, have seen it 5 times. And it's just so interesting. You've celebrated your 10-year anniversary, but the show just keeps changing and evolving.
It does. Really, every day it does, which keeps our jobs quite interesting.
Of course.
But the technological advancements that are available to us now are definitely different than they were 10 years ago. So our job was keeping that heart and spirit, but then advancing it technologically. So our whole stage now is a projectionable surface, and you have these grand production elements and interactive projection pieces, but it still is a show that just makes you feel something.
Absolutely.
So.
It's really cool. Now, the cool thing that the Cirque du Soleil's been doing recently is kind of giving people a little peek on the inside, see how the sausage is made, in so many words. And you have open rehearsals where people can actually see what takes place.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. So awesome.
Yeah, on Fridays from 4:15 to 4:45 and Sundays from 3 to 3:30 we have these open trainings, and it's been such an adventure for us actually as a team because it reminds us how cool what we do every day is.
Of course.
Because we have numerous amounts of rehearsal every day before our shows, and these artists perform 10 shows a week, and technicians and crew, everyone. And so it allows the audience to kind of see us from the ground up.
Yeah.
What the amount of work that goes into putting the show together, both from an artistic scale and a technical scale, and you get to see all the nuances that you wouldn't necessarily see in just the polished show.
Yeah.
So cool. Katie, I love your title. You're the dance master.
Gosh, yeah.
No, that's brilliant.
I'm the dance master.
Yes. You're the master co-host, Sean.
I guess
We're giving you a new title. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you came to work with Beatles Love.
Well, I moved here to Vegas 11 years ago now, which is amazing, but I moved here for a show, and the last show I performed in was Bette Midler's show at Caesar's Palace.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. And I had done a lot of production and choreographic work before that, and I've always got as much fulfillment from that side of it as I did from being on stage. So thankfully the transition came available, and I've been with the show now for 6.5 years, and it's just been such a journey to watch it evolve. And with this refresh, you know, you hold, there's such a nostalgia that you hold for the old show, and so we were all a little nervous.
Of course, yeah.
To really go in there and change things up, but I am so proud. We're all so proud of the product that we have now. Everybody put a little bit of themselves, and you can see it every night on stage.
Absolutely, and it's taking, sometimes obviously you want to leave well enough alone, but if you don't morph, you're going to get left behind.
Exactly.
And you guys took some really brave steps into really bringing it to modern day and not losing that spirit.
Absolutely. Yeah. The remaining Beatles are very much a part of, we're actually, Cirque is the only production company that has, or theatrical company that has a creative relationship with Apple Corp and the Beatles. So they're very much integrated into the process of this creation. So whenever Paul or Ringo come by, or Olivia Harrison, Yoko, they really remind us that we are an extension of that legacy, and we are bringing the Beatles to a new generation every night, so we don't take that lightly.
Well, the soundtrack to the Beatles Love. Let's talk about like taking something that's perfect and screwing with it a little bit, but making it awesome. The soundtrack, you took classic Beatles hits and reorchestrated them to work for the show, and it's it's just as good, if not better, than the original. It's incredible.
Absolutely, yeah. George Martin, who was the original producer for the Beatles, and his son Giles Martin were the ones who created this beautiful soundtrack, which is hundreds of Beatles songs that are put together into this 90-minute score, and it's spectacular.
It is incredible.
What a brilliant show to be working on creatively.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's great.
So excited for you. How cool.
Very cool having you.
Thanks.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thanks for having us.
All right, got to check this out. Open rehearsals, they are free, and they take place every Friday from 4:15 to 4:45, and then every Sunday from 3 to 3:30. Guests who attend will receive a special deal for tickets to the show as well, so they can experience the Beatles' love for themselves. You got to take part in that deal. Love, love. Oh, this is end of every show, and then I almost want to break down because it's so emotional. Happens every time.